What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be going over how to use Tigra. So in this video we're going to be going over the little ins and outs and tricks of how to use her, as well as the basic info. So if you can see in the top left corner, the cat head, or I'm not sure if that's presumably a tiger, is the damage mode, and the one on the very right with the grass is the power gain mode. The one on the left, very left, is the unblockable indicator. So you can actually have them both up at once. The special one triggers one at a time and alternates, so first it is the damage, then the power gain, but you can have them both at the same time. The timer is paused whenever there's a rupture. The rupture is the pseudo stagger looking thing that kind of looks like a settings cog. And so the way to get your damage is through rupture. The rupture is that decaying head up there, and the way that you get them is through multiple different ways. Any unblockable hit from special attacks, and any heavy attack after missing a projectile, and also any heavy attack that intercepts. So if you can intercept a dash or a heavy, or just after a special or heavy attack, that will give you the ruptures, and that's how you get all your damage. Okay, so with an unduped Tigra or a low Sig Tigra, what you want to do is fire 2 special ones. In log fights, go for the special 3 because it does more damage, but for the most part, 2 special ones should be just fine. Okay, and so notice that you'll see once I get to the special 2, but you want to dash back and get distance before you use it, because the farther you are away, it will give you the unblockable, and that will be the one that triggers the ruptures, and so it'll be much more damage if you dash back, sort of like Ghost. So playing her is, in my mind, a mix between Ghost for the special attacks and Magneto for the heavy holding, heavy countering. Alright, so watch this. I threw the special 3 and I dash back first. Special 2 and I dash back first. And watch how I counter Winter Soldier. Sometimes I drop a life for spacing. And once I can bait out the special one, I want to show you something. So when I'm heavy against the wall, watch, I'm trying to wait for as long as I possibly can. That was a mistake. I should have been dashing back. When you're heavy countering, what a lot of people don't know about Tiger is you hold the heavy for as long as you can, because you see how he just dashed in and I just got the ruptures. You want to hold heavy for as long as possible and see if they're going to dash you, because if they dash at you, that's going to give you ruptures. When you're heavy chain against the wall, there are 2 reasons to do that. The one is if you can get intercepts, and that's your ruptures. The second one is just you get power and you keep the rupture up, which keeps your damage and your power gain modes up. But that's not the good thing. What you want is you want to wait for those intercepts right there, and then you can get that damage, and that's so much better. So you chain the heavies. You can also chain the you can chain your heavies off of the specials as well. Alright, so here's a fight against Captain Marvel, and I illustrated this one to show that against an opponent who doesn't have as many projectile attacks, her special 1 is a singular projectile, so you can't really bait it out and wait for it and counter it as easily. In ROL, sometimes I just sell out and charge heavy right after my specials and hope that I can either heavy counter her dash or phase her hit, but that's not something you should actually do. But so notice how when I intercept her heavy very quickly, I can get those ruptures. And so basically what you want to do is get both modes up through special 1 or special 3, and then do as many heavies as you possibly can, because that's how you keep the rupture up, and it's just good practice, and you can get ruptures, more ruptures if you do well. And now watch this. The special 2, I dash back, and you can just see her health. The red numbers make it a little bit confusing, because I kind of compare her damage sort of similar to when you're hero reversing. There's a lot of weird red numbers there, and it's really hard to gauge just by looking at the numbers. You should probably be looking at the health bar. But yeah, so lots of heavy counters. Also, note how much... okay, so look, I just got 3 ruptures, and that heavy attack gave me like 2/3 of a bar of power. So once you get your modes up, you want to be only throwing special 2. So if 2/3 of a bar of power will get you to special 3, throw your special 2 straight up. So if you have more than 2 1/3 bars of power, or about that, unless you're barely at 2 bars, you should be throwing your special attack, because... So right here, if I threw a special attack, it maybe would bring me to 3. Oh, and there we go, it brought me to 3. I'm not sure if that was an accident, but you notice how it barely got me up to 3. So if it's a significant portion of that 3rd bar, about a 1/3, it'll probably bring you to around 3 bars of power. So you want to get just under 2 and fire that thing off. Do not do another heavy attack. And heavy chaining into special technically works, but the problem is then you won't get the unblockable because you can't dash back mid-heavy. So you're only going to get some of them as unblockable hits. Okay. So those are the general ways to play Tigra. The main things to know are your heavy counters, light attacks for spacing. When you're heavy chaining, wait for them to dash. Not a lot of people know that. Alright. So here's this Juggernaut fight. This is to show how to counter Unstoppable and to counter some heavy attacks. So if you are quick on the draw, you can counter his special 1 with a heavy attack and get the ruptures. It's easy to counter with a heavy attack, but it's not easy to get the ruptures because you have to do it quickly. So sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. Special 2 is really easy. So yeah, just have fun with this fight, man. I'll be back for the next one. Alright, so that's me fighting Juggernaut with Tigra, and next we're going to be taking in our 5-star Tigra versus the uncollected Odin boss. I didn't do the Cavalier one because this was in the midst of my exploration of uncollected, and I'm already well done with Cavalier, and didn't want to have to run through that just for this fight. But I mean, you'll get a decent idea of how this fight works. I dropped the special 1, and I just go straight for the damage. Sometimes I do a light attack, sometimes I don't, off his special 1. It's actually fairly easy to counter, and you'll notice that I get up to a special 1, kind of, but at this point the fight's almost over, so it doesn't really matter. Special 1's honestly mostly for damage. Alright, let's see how this works. And I can actually heavy counter from that special 1, so check that out. But that was easy, right? That's half the HP, or half the PI, but let's up this ante. I got this 4-star Tigra against this Odin boss, and we'll see how this one works. For this, I believe I go for the special 3, because in longer fights you want to go for that special 3, for the most part. And so you'll notice that a Tigra with the Awakened ability, you can get extra damage, right? Because, not extra damage, extra power gain, because that power gain mode starts up, and so I use the power gain to get up to my special 3. You notice I held in it. He dashed back when I was trying to get that intercept. So I use the power gain to get to the special 3, which refreshes it, makes them longer, and all that good stuff. Let's see if I can get that intercept. I cannot. I want to. There are times when they'll intercept all the time, and it's just so much more damage. And it's just wonderful. But not every time. I got the intercept right there, which is great. And you'll see that there's more damage on that, and more power gain and all that good stuff. Alright, so I dropped this special 3, which is going to... What the special 3 does is that it gives you a rupture, one more rupture, and that rupture reapplies on unblockable hits. And so what that does is on your special 2, which is your damage special, that's a great counter, by the way. What I just did, really good spacing. But on that special 2, you're going to be getting 2 ruptures on each, and the damage is based on the ruptures. So when you apply a rupture, it's based on the ruptures, but on special 2, because of the special 3, you're actually going to be applying 2 per each. You notice how it's jumping per 2 on all the unblockable hits, and that is infinitely more damage. Well, times 2, not infinitely. But anyway, thanks for watching, and that's how you play Tigra.